you start to freeze, and so it looks you right between the eyes. You're paralyzed.
How do you go about creating a mixture of rock and roll and Cirque du Soleil?
You know, when I started, I think I had just a slight hesitation in the beginning. It was okay.
Like
Cirque
a
du
second.
Soleil, I get it. No, you know, I get it. They're huge on their own, and what they do, it's fantastic. But then as I got more into it, and I really just sat with it for a second, I said, no, there's way more similarities here than differences. Michael Jackson was a huge fan of Cirque, #1, but he also created a world called Neverland Ranch. And if you know anything about it, there was movie theaters and animals, both wild and kept in a zoo, and there was circus rides and all kinds of, I like to call them shenanigans, but all kinds of, you know, magical and fantastical kind of things. I mean, this was his escape, and he really lived. It was like being in Michael's head, being there. You know, he really felt, you know, he had trees that you could climb and statues, and when I thought of that, I go, oh, that's Cirque. That is Cirque. Now that's a world that makes sense to me. You know, I went to Neverland, and yes, I did.
I was gonna say you went to Neverland for your first meeting.
I did.
And
I did. I
heard all
took the
about
team
that.
there, and I said, this
Amazing.
place makes sense for me. This is the environment, because you know, when you direct a show, you have to really, what's your scene? What's your environment? When you go into Neverland, which essentially is Michael's head, anything's possible.
Tell me about the man, Michael, that you knew and that you remember.
Wow. I'll save the hard question for last, right? You know, Michael was one of my greatest teachers, and you know, certainly a huge, huge influence in my life, and the reason really why I do what I do.
And when you learned about his passing?
It's still difficult today.
So do you feel any pressure coming back to the Staples Center, where the world's biggest memorial, which was, we were here, it was beautiful and gorgeous and stunning, and how do you feel bringing his show here?
I think the overwhelming feeling is pride. To see the fans' reaction and the family's reaction and see how happy they are, for me, I feel like I've done a good job. I've done it right, you know, I've done right by Michael. And now to be in Los Angeles and have, you know, the Los Angeles people see the show, I'm very excited. Like I said, I want people to leave the show really feeling like they've been, like they've had a night out with Michael.
One word to describe Michael.
Only one?
You get one.
That's so hard. Perfectionist. Perfectionist. He aimed for perfection. He expected it from himself and everyone around him.
Madonna.
Perfectionist. God, I feel like everyone's gonna have something in common. I would say Madonna is definitely perfectionist, but mixed with, I always like to call her the ultimate showgirl. You know, she's like those two things combined.
Britney.
Sweetheart.
Christina.
Driven.
Mariah.
Fun.
Rihanna.
Bad.
Nice, good word. And Ricky.
The ultimate showman. I'm Jamie King, and you're watching Young Hollywood Network.